All right. Hey guys, I'm starting an ecom project. I've noticed that the top ranking sites have no content on their home pages that rank. How are they ranking and how are they doing on page? And then he has a little follow up to it that says they just have images of their categories and products on their home page that is ranking for the keywords. Yeah, so I mean, basically, it sounds like they're not really trying to rank the homepage for anything, right? And then it's basically just acting as a hub page to go off to all their categories, which are probably much more important ranking pages.
When you specifically said you're getting involved in ecom, and what you're going to notice about a lot of ecom-based SERPs is that they're going to include a ton of product pages because for the most part, in these types of SERPs, Google's registered due to the amount of data that's gone there that search intent has to do with looking for something to buy, right? So in a lot of SERPs, you might notice that you're getting, and I mean, it's hard to say without actually going in there and seeing what you're talking about. It sounds like, yeah, they're using hub pages to power up categories with specific products in that category, and that's what's in turn ranking. And so if you look at like specific SERPs for certain types of products, you're going to notice that on a lot of these e-com SERPs, especially now, Amazon, Walmart, places like that are going to go up. Just because you don't see much content in the form of summaries about the products or whatever in those SERPs doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing that because it is going to give you a competitive edge. So I would recommend going ahead and writing a little bit about each product at least, or at least more than the competitors that are ranking on page 1 for that.
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of unsure about the question because I don't know if you're saying their home pages are actually ranking for something competitive or not. Generally, if you want the homepage to rank for something, you have to at least do the on page for it. You might not need a ton of content. It'll just kind of depend on the average of what other sites are doing. But in general, it's good that you're looking at these sites. It's good that you're looking at the competitors, and now what you should do is do what they're doing, right?
But better.
Yeah, do what they're doing, but do it better. So if their home pages don't have a ton of content on them, and they're just acting as a hub that then links out to all of their category pages or some other most important products or something, that would be where I would start as well. I might maybe I would add a little more content to the homepage myself, and maybe I would kind of try to optimize and theme the homepage a little more strongly. Basically just try to one up them a little bit. But in general, you look at what's working and you kind of emulate it and tweak around the edges, rather than trying to rewrite the whole formula, right?
Yeah, and on the we go back real quick. Sorry. On the chance that maybe you are talking about they are ranking their home pages with minimal content that are essentially linking out to a bunch of categories, what I would say to maybe look at is if this is a very specific niche project, right, then a homepage could hypothetically rank for something that's really niche down if it's got a ton of e-commerce products underneath it. So the homepage would essentially act like an umbrella, and it would show up for a lot of SERPs that are relatable to whatever that parent topic is. And it wouldn't require necessarily having a whole ton of content on the homepage, just as much as, the entire asset, the entire money site is dedicated to that niche based in e-com, and so it's going to, suck up a lot of those SERPs.
You actually said money site instead of asset.
I like asset so much better, and I've been saying it for years, but I do realize that, I feel like people get confused by it sometimes.
No one else says it.
But it sounds so much better. Money site. It sounds cheap.
Yeah.
Asset. My assets are doing very well today. My money sites are doing pretty good.
My website. How about that? My site.
Yeah, but see, we can't talk like that because then it's like we utilize so many different types of websites for different things. So then it's like you got to get into the tool as well. asset and money site interchangeable in my opinion, but
and just to answer your question a little bit more, you asked us how are they doing their on page. I'm not going to be able to see that without seeing the SERP itself, but you can see it very easily. You just go look at them. Pull up their homepage, go up to the top, see what their title tag is. You can open up page.
Here, why don't you just pull one up like an e-com site and just show them how we do it.
So we'll go back to this.
Nice. Rover.
This example we have over here. Do the search? Yeah, so toys for small dogs. This isn't the homepage or whatever, so you, of course, just do your keyword and then look at what's ranking, right? So you click on you can see right here what their title tag is. You can see right here what their meta description is. You can click on it. You can right click. You can do view page source, and you can search for something like H1 to try to find their H tags. Here's their.
There it is. 20
best toys for small dogs in 2019. And then you could go and you could see their H2s and stuff if you wanted to as well. But it's really easy to see what sites are doing for their on page. And usually they follow a formula, right? So it's not like you're going to have to go and look at every single one if you're trying to analyze all their categories. You could maybe just go look at one or two and look real quick. It's really easy to see what they're doing for their on page. They can't hide it, right?
Pop them into Ahrefs and then go down the top 5 ranking pages that they have and just see what all those pages are doing as far as what Chris was talking about, inbound linking, authority outbound linking, everything.
But what they're doing for the on page, there's really no. There's no like. It's just best to look. There's no like secret trick, right? You just see what they're doing, and then you can just kind of do a similar thing.
If you're confused or don't have a very solid education on page, because I remember it used to freak me out when I first got into SEO. I thought on page was a lot more complex than it actually turned out to be. But if you're not that familiar, I think you wrote it, right? The on page guide.
Yeah, we've got an on-page guide.
We've got one, and you could just kind of treat it like a checkmark guide, or even maybe make a checklist based on it, but it's a comprehensive guide on exactly what you'd want to know as far as on-page beginning optimization.
Yeah, this is our on-page guide that I wrote a long time ago just for the basics of stuff. And we pretty much adhere to like the basics of on-page. We really don't overcomplicate it. And it's been working really well for us. It's not something that has really changed a lot over time. But like, when's the last time there's been like a real big like on page? They change stuff with like keyword clusters. Basically like what keywords you're targeting with your on page. Right. But as far as like how to do the on page itself, I feel like it hasn't changed since I started doing it.
There's always like this fear mongering that comes around. But overall, it's like how much can change. You're just trying to create the most pristine, crawlable kind of asset
website. I went ahead and dropped it into the comments for you. Hopefully that helps you.
No.
We'll go to this next one real quick. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the description below for links to our blog for more info on this topic, along with a bunch of other cool stuff like case studies, our Facebook community, and our link building services. And like always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you enjoyed the video. Thanks and happy ranking.